What up guys, this is Monkey Figure Reviews, and today we will be discussing upcoming One Piece Portraits of Pirates figures by megahouse. Now, the first one on our list, it is the Playback Memories Nami figure, which we previously talked about, but back then it's only the grey prototype, but now we have it fully colored. And we also know the height, it is 23 cm. The price is 11,000 yen. So I guess based on today's rates and standards, it's still not too bad. And this figure will be coming out in June 2021 this year. So I am going to pretty much echo what I said previously in my last video, and that is that I've been waiting for a Nami figure in this outfit for the longest time. I call this the Romance Dawn outfit because it's kind of like the very OG outfit that Nami appeared in. And I guess you can also call it the Orange Town outfit, which is, I guess, the buildings behind. And you can see that the face is, I think it's done well. It captured the character likeness perfect. And obviously it's not gonna be like, you know, the old school, very, you know, original Oda style, but I think this is fine, very close to the modern Nami. And the body is great too, no exaggerated boobs, nothing. This is still fine, and of course the outfit looks great, and she has that OG wooden staff. And over here you can also see we have a different or alternative face sculpt. She's kind of like winking, tongue sticking out, a bit cheeky, and of course we have a different hand, which is her just kind of like, I don't know, pinching either, I don't know, maybe asking for money, or maybe she's gonna steal something. And this is another image. So here you can see you can just play around with the face sculpts, you know, not necessarily fixed to the one we see previously. So this works as well if you ask me. And these are more photos. I think the colors are, to be honest, really amazing and up to standard. You can see the shading on the hair. So you can see some parts are darker, some parts are lighter. Gives a bit more depth to the figure. For the shirts, the striped shirts, not so much shading, but it seems like the paint is rather clean. From this picture, you can see some creases here. And it looks like the skirts, the mini skirt, looks like it has a bit of a reflective paint. We have to see other photos later to confirm. But it's kind of like a, you know, like a darker, shiny orange kind of feel, or it could be the shading because it's also darker in certain parts and lighter as well. And the creases and the rest of the body looks to be fine. I think the body size is great. It is pretty much believable of how Nami looks like back then. You can see also some details on the wooden stuff, show a bit of texturing and a little bit of shading around the legs and the shoes. So these are more close-up photos. I will probably just leave it to you guys to take a look while I go through them. You can see the tongue here. Maybe it doesn't look very good here. I don't know. I think I really like the hair, man. Like you can see just that the bottom part is darker and it's lighter at the top. Really gives a lot of depth to the figure. This is another picture of her. Yeah, I mean, like the skirt itself seems like it's a bit reflective. Fantastic. I really like how, like, you know, the hair is actually, some of the hair is put to one side of her. She's tugging it behind. And this is the back view, so you can see more of her figure, her butt, some of the creases around her butt, the shading here. And we have more photos, but I want to just sound off that I think usually, you know, when we see photos from this Dengenki hobby web, the photos have been edited to be more saturated, so the colors are more bright. This might not be accurate to the ones over here, but we have more angles, so at the very least we can see different angles, different looks of the figure. There you go. This is, to me, this is a definite must buy. And I don't even know if there are other figures of Nami in this outfit outside. So this is a must get. She looks super cute in this pose as well. I just realized looking at this here. I would definitely put her next to my 10th anniversary Zoro and also the Jump Fiesta Luffy. So I will have the Romance Dawn Trio P.O.P side by side. That will be a sick display. And maybe you can put volume 1 of the manga behind to just show the parallels. Alright, and I'm gonna go back to Crocodile 2, the MAS-Maximum Sir Crocodile. His height is 26.5 cm and the price is 18,500 yen, so around the maximum price tag. And he will be released in July this year, 2021. Because previously we only had quite a limited number of photos to look through, but now we have more, so I'll just quickly go through them. This is the promo images. Looks badass, like he's conjuring the sand, playing around the sand around him. Okay, so this is the photo. And I guess we'll just recap once again that for this figure, essentially a part of his body, or parts of his body, and also the coat is transitioning to the sand because of his devil fruit powers. And these are the close-ups. Once again, these photos are more saturated, so just take note of that. Looks like the cigar has a little orange spot, like it's supposed to be lit. I just noticed that, which is quite interesting. And of course, you can see the sand effects. This looks to be kind of reflective as well, the scarf. Looks fantastic, to be honest. I'm just worried that, you know, they better put in enough protection while packing this figure. If not, it seems like all these little tiny parts seems very, very breakable. So I hope that's not the case. And I really like how the transition of the sand is done, especially from the body. You can see the color just fading and then it becomes this coarse looking fragment, coarse looking piece. And I also mentioned previously that I wasn't too convinced on this crocodile's face, but after actually looking at it more, and then when going back and looking at how Crocodile looks like, I feel that this is actually pretty close to the source material. Maybe not 100% still, maybe not perfect, but definitely closer than some of the Crocodile figures nowadays. And perhaps now, on second thought, better than the previous Crocodile P.O.Ps. This is the back, and you can even see some more transition in the sculpt from the coat to the sand. Of course, a lot of people complain that the coat itself is very, very shiny, and it should just be matte. And I guess this is a stylistic choice, but to me, it doesn't really bother me that much. And of course, you can see the details on the coat at the top. We have talked about this earlier in my last video. More parts here to show the sand. And I do think that the price is not very cheap, because he doesn't look like he's of a very, very big volume. But I guess that's the price nowadays. They probably think that they want to be rewarded for the effort put into the sand. Okay, the belt, more close-ups around the creases, all pretty well done. Some shading here and there. I thought that the fur could be better looking. You know, maybe more defined in certain areas. Similar to Miss All Sunday's coat, the part where there's fur. That would be pretty cool. And you can see the jewelry rings on his right hand. And the shading. I would imagine the painting will be quite an effort to do this figure. Other than that, I would say essentially if you think that it's too pricey, then maybe you want to skip on this figure. You can just go for the previous Crocodile P.O.Ps. I think that guy is still fine. And you think that it's not worth it to get a maximum crocodile just for those effects. Alright, and this is the hook. Even the inside of the coat is shiny. It's kind of like silver in color based on this picture. Interesting. Okay, now we will talk about the newly announced figures at the start of this year, or was it the end of last year? And we are getting another Gear 4 Luffy. Officially, the name of this figure is called the P.O.P. Sailing Again Maximum Gear 4 Boundman version 2. Of course, Monkey D. Luffy. And we have no release dates as of now. So when I first saw this, I kind of got a bit of mixed reaction. Number one, I think this is great for those of us, like me, who do not own the first Gear 4 Luffy. And now the aftermarket, the prices for that figure is absolutely insane. I think the average person, average collector like us wouldn't be able to afford it or want to buy it at that price. So this is definitely much more interesting. But also, I do think that there are some missed opportunities here, as well as, some concerns. But before we get into that, I guess we will just sort of quickly look through this prototype first. What we have is we have a Gear 4th Boundman Luffy, sort of in mid-air and ready to land his punch. So definitely when you compare it to the first Gear 4, there is much less, like the smoke, the steam from using his gear around. And essentially you only get some of it. I'm not even sure like what's this supposed to be. Is this supposed to be some sort of effects like him, the impact of his punch or something? But there's some smoke around here towards the base, which acts as the base, as the support for the figure. I think some towards the back. And okay, wait, I think we have more photos. So there's some around the arms over here. And I think that's pretty much it. Maybe the back part, there's still a bit. Yep, over here, there's still a bit going around. And definitely a lot different than the first one. I kind of like that the first one make him look very, very intimidating with the size, the volume. So I'm not sure how this will compare. Maybe in the future they will put them side by side and we can see. And also I do find that the stretching of his body to be a bit too extreme, a bit too weird. But I think from certain angles, like maybe this or something else, he will look fine. But of course, Luffy is a rubber man. He has exceptions. He has the ability to do it, so we can give a pass on that. And you can tell that the upper torso is extremely huge. The scar over here as well. And the arms, basically the upper body is just absolutely massive and ballooned. And this is the back. So like I said, you have no idea what is this supposed to be. It looks like it's just, it could be from the effect of the punch or like the air. It will be interesting to see how this looks like when painted. And other than that, I gotta say, another concern I have is whether or not this steam supports will be able to, withstand the weight of the figure in the long run. Because I would hate for it to be leaning after a while. It seems like it's gonna be quite delicate to support this figure. And by the way, the design, the details on the hands and all these parts on the muscle looks to be very good. Okay, and we have another photo. So we can see more of the steam, the way it flows. He's more in motion, in punching mid-air. You can see more details on the straw hat here as well. I saw this picture somewhere on Twitter. So it seems like it is, this part here is over here. And with that, we can sort of confirm that this will be the Dressrosa outfit. And to me, I feel that it is very wasted for them to do another Boundman Luffy from Dressrosa. They could do like Whole Cake Island or even, maybe Wano or something else, which is wasted. Or even just the normal Luffy outfit. So I feel it is really, I don't know, like to do another Boundman in the same outfit seems lazy to me. And of course, I definitely thought that it would have been much more awesome if they have a Kongan like on the right arm, similar to the Ichiban Kuji. That would be insane. That would make this much more unique and much more crazy. So you can have the first version, and then you can have the second version, which is more of, in motion, him in action trying to punch someone. Maybe they'll surprise us. We'll see. But definitely a Kongan would have increased the value and awesomeness of this figure. I'm pretty sure if you own the first one, most likely you will not be getting this. I think the first one seems to be better. And I think I didn't talk about the face, but the face looks to be very good as well. You can see the, like the eye circles, or basically his look when he goes into Gear 4th, and the hair strands looks to be well done. You can sort of see the individual strands from here. Okay, and I think that's all for now. I will keep an eye on this, but we will have to see. This is, of course, the biggest chat of all, and the official name of this is P.O.P. Warriors Alliance Kozuki Oden. And we got a height for him. For some reason, his height is 28.5 cm and coming out this year. Not sure which month yet. And first impression is that, you know what? It's Oden, as long as you show me his muscles, everything, he looks badass, I will definitely want to get him. But based on these photos and some other photos, it seems like he's kind of leaning towards the back, towards his right hand side and the back. So I'm just wondering whether or not this is supposed to be like this. I don't want to have any leaning issues. I'm afraid of that, especially when you pay so much for these figures. This is another angle, and you can tell the face is well done. The creases, and you can tell the swords here, and he's kind of standing on a roof, I guess, or somewhere. The muscle sculpts on his legs as well. This is the back, and you have that big knot tied to his kimono. And even from this photo, he looks like he's gonna fall behind, which is, I don't know, kind of worrying for me. So I hope when we get more pictures in the future, this is not the case. It looks like looks like this will not stand well on its own. But it's Oden, man. Oden is an epic character. I will definitely get him. Okay, pretty much just all we can see. You can see like details on the hair here. Some parts, the part that is tight, and you can tell the texturing done on this big knots towards the end and on it as well. Creases at the back. Pretty much all we can see for now. More angles of this guy. Yeah, like look at this, man. He looks like he's leaning, so kind of dangerous. This as well. Really hope they fix that. We don't have a close-up of the face, but I think from the photos so far, it looks to be accurate. I like it. He has a wow smile. Okay. Yep, that's all we have. So for Gear 4, for me personally, I guess it's the same for both, for Gear 4 Luffy and for Oden. I will have to wait to see the colored prototypes, but as of now, they don't really sort of impress me just by first impressions. But of course, it's Gear 4 Luffy. If I don't get him, I might not get a chance to do so anymore in the future. But I really, really hoped and wished that they could have a Kongan arm instead for Luffy. I think that's wasted. And for Oden, I don't know, maybe this is kind of like his signature pose, but if they could have done something more crazy, like him attacking, you know, when he's using his two swords, attacking Kaido, those things, then that would be really, really cool. Alright, let me know what you guys think of this P.O.P figures in the comments section below. And if you're new here, you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell notification button so you don't miss out on new videos like this. Thank you guys once again for your time. I will see you very soon. Goodbye.